We are getting closer to Valentine's Day, and there is no better way to celebrate than giving someone a meal, cooking something for them. We're here with Mark Pollard with Charleston Cooks with some ideas for you. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, my friend. It's been a long time.
Reunited and it feels so good. We won't sing anymore for you, but it is good to have you back here.
I thought we sounded pretty good.
We should start a group, you know.
I think so,
I think we have some real talent here. Valentine's Day is coming up.
Valentine's Day, and a lot of folks are doing a lot of fancy things. You know, we've got some big classes that we're doing that are just full.
A lot of them are full, but you can get on the waiting list.
Yeah, you can get on the waiting list. But one of the other things you can do is cook something from your heart. Cook something that we know is going to taste good, but really does come from your heart. Now, you know, Jamarcus, I teach a lot of different classes, and one of my favorites is actually a demonstration class that I do called Our Southern Kitchen.
It's always seemingly really popular.
It's extremely popular, and the reason is because we're talking about our culture, about who we are here in the South. Why do we eat the things we eat? Why do we do the things we do? Why does sweet tea be so sweet that the spoon stands straight up?
And the family connections too, which I'm like, you need to kick me out of the kitchen because I'm always knocking things over. But yeah, there are always stories with Southern foods too, and this dish right here will keep your sweetie at home.
It really will, and it's a beautiful dish. This is actually, no, this is not one of those frozen meals. This is real Salisbury steak. And where that came from, that's the other thing about that class is it's part history lesson, part food, a lot of fun. And I try to find the history of all these foods. And this is a true Salisbury steak invented by Dr. John Salisbury from Salisbury, North Carolina.
Who knew?
Who knew?
I just thought it was called Salisbury, North Carolina. I had no clue that they actually
had it. Was a steak. So what we did with this is, after doing a little research, I found that Dr. Salisbury, during the Depression, he came up with this because a lot of his little clients, his little patients, the little children, were having trouble getting meat, getting protein into their diet because of the way the financial hardships were.
The shortage,
and everything.
yeah.
So what he did was he came up with a recipe that he wanted them to have some steak or something, but he knew they couldn't afford that. So at that time he used ground round or a ground chuck or something.
Whatever you could get.
Right, whatever you could get. But what we did is you gotta kick it up a little bit now. I mean, now we move
Mark
into,
has to take it up a notch.
Yeah, you can't play. So what I did is I used a little bit of ground chuck, but then we also had the piece on the fillet, the piece on the beef tenderloin called the chain. I ground that up and I put it in there as well.
As you talk, I'm just going to go ahead
please go ahead and have a little tasty taste. It's got with this one, we've got a little bit of that. We've got some really nice, made a beautiful gravy using real beef stock, one that we actually made, and it's got some nice mushrooms in there, a little bit of black pepper, some salt, and then we put it on a bed of rice because rice was, back in the day, it was the #1 crop in the South. Everybody always thinks of cotton or tobacco, but rice is what made people rich.
I'm being real Southern here. I'm eating it off my hand.
That's why I love you. That's why I love you. So this is just a real heartwarming dish that you can have. And something that I'll add to this when I teach my class is a recipe called spoon bread. I don't know if you ever had spoon bread before.
Not at all.
It's like it's a little bit like cornbread, like a cornbread souffle, and it's absolutely beautiful. But it's another one where they may not have been able to afford a lot of the cornmeal or whatever, so they made something out of it.
Yeah.
It's just staples. It's necessity, and it turned out to be absolutely beautiful food. And of course, with this,
absolutely delicious.
A nice red velvet cake with this.
Ooh,
what do you think?
I don't have a red velvet cake, but I do have a Publix cake over there. That is the name of the show is spelled wrong, but it's okay.
That's okay.
It's our birthday.
At least they didn't say Studio 63.
Right, exactly.
There you go. So it's all right.
The number right. So you can add a nice slice of cake.
It would be beautiful. And see, this is just something you can make, and your significant other is going to know that you spent some time doing this. It's a beautiful thing to do, and the flavors are incredible. I was making some of these patties last night, and my wife was at home, my lovely little Linda, and my daughter Lindsay, and they were like, do we get some? And I said, I don't think Jamarcus would mind if I made a few for them, so I did.
I don't mind. Yeah, I don't mind at all. Sharing love and all that.
And that's what it's all about, sharing love, sharing something from your heart. So.
And if you guys want to get in on any of the Charleston Cooks classes, they're going on all week. A lot of the Valentine's Day ones are booked up, but you can always get on the waiting list with you and your sweetie. CharlestonCooks.com has a full list of all of those classes. Go by and see them in downtown Greenville, and give Mark a high five. Maybe he'll make you a cake or something.